FlossTube, it's Stephanie, and this is my first attempt at a stitching vlog. Today is Sunday, May 1st, around 9 p.m. First day of Stitch Mania. My goals for today are to start Celtic Autumn and to work an hour or two on beating Siren and Shipwreck. So today has not been the greatest stitchy day for me. I just had a lot of stuff to attend to, and also I hurt my thumb the other night when I was preparing dinner. I made a small but rather deep cut on the side of it, and I used my left hand under the fabric when I'm stitching to grab the needle and reposition it, so this has slowed me down. But all that aside, I have put in 45 minutes so far on Siren and Shipwreck, and I will do another 15, and then I'll start Celtic Autumn. I have a few more hours to work with before I go to bed around midnight, so it's cool. I'll get there, and I'll check in later to show you how far I get on Siren and also my start on Celtic Autumn. Bye for now. Hey, I thought I'd check in now that I'm done beating this part of Siren and Shipwreck. I put in a little longer than I intended, maybe like 2 hours total. I'm really enjoying beating her. There were 2 colors of beads in the tail region. Well, you can see them on my tacky bob over there. That thing is indispensable for beading, in my opinion. They were $20.98, and they look kind of green here, but they're really more like a dark gunmetal gray with just the slightest green cast. And then 18828 light blue. Let's get a bit closer. I attached the seed beads with a diagonal, like half cross, and then the larger ones with a full cross, because I felt like they needed more security being larger, and also I thought they looked better attached straight up and down. And what else? Oh yeah, so I used this stuff and a beading needle to attach to them, DMC 992, which I chose to match the fabric. That's how I do it. It's just so much easier for me than messing around with invisible thread or whatever. And this is pretty much invisible unless you get 6 inches away with a magnifying glass or whatever. So I'm kind of sad to put this away. I'm having a lot of fun beating her, but Celtic Spring is waiting in the wings, so I will check in a bit later after I start that, and we'll see how far I get in like an hour or so. Bye! Hey guys, it's past my bedtime, but I wanted to give you this quick update with my little start on Celtic Autumn with a color conversion. I love these colors. The dark rust color is 918, and that one is sub for Needle Paint 2006, which is like a very dark purple. And then the green is 471, which is sub for DMC, can't remember the number, but it's like light golden olive. So I like these colors much better. And I'm having a lot of fun stitching on this fabric. It is 28 count cashel by Zweigart in the Vintage Country Mocha, sort of a hand-dyed effect, but relatively subtle overall. And it's just a really soft fabric and pretty even for a linen, not a whole lot of slubs. Just a pleasure to work on. So I'm going to work on this project for a couple more days and through Wednesday, and hoping to get a lot more progress in before I put it aside. So good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye! Hey guys, it is Monday, May 2nd, around 11:40 a.m. and I've just put my son down for a nap. So I'm going to work a little bit on Celtic Autumn, but then I think I need a little bit of a nap myself because I stayed up way too late last night. It's a terrible habit of mine. I get excited about stitching and then I stay up through the wee hours. Sometimes stitching, other times just like planning or online window shopping or researching or whatever. It's bad, and I did it last night. But one thing I decided was that I'm going to move around at least one of my whip days for Stitch Mania. I want each one of my new projects to have at least one day where it doesn't have to share stitching time with one of my older whips. So I moved things around a little bit to accommodate that. And I will definitely get in some good effort on Celtic Autumn later tonight after I've put my 2-year-old to bed. That's pretty much my prime stitching time. And he doesn't go to bed that early, unfortunately, maybe like 9 o'clock, but I'll get a few good hours. So I will check in later and we'll see how far I get with Celtic Autumn. Bye. Hey guys, it's close to midnight and I need to hit the sack soon, but I've had a great stitchy evening and I wanted to share. So I've been working on Celtic Autumn with a color conversion. I got a lot of stitching time tonight because my husband came home from work early, so we had dinner earlier, and then I got to stitch a little after dinner before Oliver's bedtime and then after Oliver's bedtime. So yeah, I've done a lot. I've put in maybe like 10 or so colors. I'm working from the waist, which is like the midpoint of the chart, down to the bottom of the page of my working copy, and a lot of the empty spaces you see will be filled with either metallic thread or beads. So I have like, here's my organizer, that thread left to put in, and then I think I need to pull a few more DMCs from my collection, but maybe hopefully I'll be able to work across the rest of the skirt by Wednesday. We'll see. I'm not going to have as much stitching time tomorrow because I have something to do in the evening, and also I'm going to be working on Blitzen a little bit tomorrow. So, good night. Bye. Hi, FlossTube. It is Tuesday, May 3rd, around 1 p.m. And how's everybody doing today? Third day of Maynia. I hope it's going well and that you've gotten lots of stitching in. I am having a pretty good day so far. Very productive morning. I meal planned and I took my son to gymnastics class and I grocery shopped, and now he is sitting in his high chair finishing up lunch, and then I'm going to put him down for a nap. And the great thing about gymnastics class is that it tires him out, so he usually takes a very good nap afterwards. And nap time for him means stitching time for me. So my plans today are to work on Blitzen, which is at the beading stage, and continue on with Celtic Autumn. So I'm probably going to start with Celtic Autumn. I'm really excited about her, and then I'll put in like an hour maybe, and then work on Blitzen. Hopefully Oliver will give me like a nice 2-hour nap. We'll see. So I'll check in later and we'll see how far I get. See you then. Bye. Hey guys, it's about 10:30 p.m. and I wanted to give you an update on Celtic Autumn. So I was bad or good, depending on your perspective. I haven't touched Blitzen yet. I've been working on this. I worked on it all during Oliver's nap. He took a fabulous nap, just about 2.5 hours. And then I worked on it after dinner and after we put him to bed, and here we are, 10:30 p.m. I feel like now I'd better work on Blitzen a bit before bedtime. So what I did today is I filled in a lot of this green, and I guess yesterday I left off right about here. So I did more of these oranges and more of the taupe ecru and all that business. So what's left for her, there's one more color band over here, and that's B5200. It's not really that many stitches though, because it starts about there and ends like right there, so that's not a big deal. Maybe like 20-30 minutes of stitching time, or if that. And then I'm going to go back over here and fill in the this dark color, and then this line here needs to be filled in, and then with the same thread there's a slender line out here, and that's one shade lighter, I think. So those two are 9/19 and 9/18. So I'll do that, and I don't know. Over here there'll be 12 empty stitches, and then you start the border. So I might start that, although I prefer not to count so many spaces across empty fabric. I guess I could do like a little ad hoc gridding. Maybe I'll do that, I don't know. Usually what I do is I just work the skirt all the way down to her shoe, and then at that point it kind of intersects with the border, and then I'll start working the border up. So, I don't know. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. I'm really happy with my progress on this. So I love the colors in the skirt. So pretty. Totally autumn. And it's worked out pretty fast. I mean, it's just like long bands of color pretty much. I mean, it does require a little bit of counting, but no like confetti or anything like that. So it's been a joy to stitch, and I'm kind of sad I only have one more day on her, but she will resurface in my rotation soon enough, probably in like July or maybe August. So now I'm going to work on Blitzen, and I'll show you how he looks right now. So, oops. This is on opalescent fabric. You can see the sparkle's pretty good, I think. It's 32 count pewter opalescent Belfast from Picture This Plus. And I started it on December 26th of last year. I think I received the pattern as a Christmas present. And I worked on it like that week after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's, and I finished most of the pattern in that time. Everything except for a little bit of this upper corner here, and then his fluffy tail. So I took it to the retreat with me and did that there. And now he's ready for beads. But it will be fun to add the beads to this guy. He's not very big, just like 5x7, so hopefully I'll be able to finish him pretty quick. I mean, not tonight certainly, but I definitely plan to finish him during May. I'm trying for 12 finishes this year, and trying to do like one per month, you know, to keep up the average. So I've done 4 so far, and you know, May is the 5th month, so I need to do another one. Alright, I will check in later, and we'll see how many beads I managed to sew on this one before bedtime. Bye! Hey guys, I've been at this about 2 hours. It's way past my bedtime, but I just couldn't stop. I've been having so much fun beading this guy. I think he looks awesome so far. I've done green beads in the trees and all the white beads of the snow. I love these little like snowflakes that are done with a cluster of 5 beads. I think those are really cute. And I sewed on these huge treasures, and the smaller treasures there and there, and red beads in his wreath and on his headpiece as well. So I am so excited about how this is looking, and there's really not that much left to do. You can't see the top of the stitching, it's under the scroll, but it's only like maybe an inch that's hidden. So depending on how it goes with Celtic Autumn tomorrow, I may try to work on him more tomorrow. How awesome would it be to get a finish during Maynia, you know? I did discover a few stitches that I missed that I'm going to have to fill in. One of them is right there, and then the other one is right there. And then I am planning to write his name, Blitzen, down here in backstitch. I need to find a pretty font. I have an idea, and of course I have to sign it, but that's not a big deal. I'm not sure where I'll sign it. I might try to sign it like inside the box, because I am planning to frame this pretty. It's going to be matted, and I'll probably cut the mat pretty close to the border. Oh yeah, about that border, it called for number 4 braid, but I did it in number 8 sort of by accident, and I didn't realize until it was done, and I just left it. It wasn't worth frogging, I didn't think. It's super sparkly, and I was kind of worried about how it would look next to the other ones, but I don't think they don't all have the same border, so it's no big deal. So there's my Blitzen whip. Very blingy, and he'll be even more blingy by the time I'm done. So you'll probably see this project again. If not during Mania, definitely before the end of May. So, good night everyone. Happy stitching. See you tomorrow. Bye. Hey FlossTube. Stephanie here. It is Wednesday, May 4th, and my son is playing rather loudly with some wooden blocks. Sorry about the noise. So, how is everybody today? It's the 4th. May the 4th be with you. I'm not doing any Star Wars stitching, but if you are, I hope you're having fun with it. Me, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, though my husband is, and I have enough whips on the go, so I'm letting this one pass. Anyway, so today is my last day to work on Celtic Autumn, and tomorrow I'll be starting Dancer, and also working on one of my whips. Can't recall which one at the moment. I'll let you know tomorrow. So I'm going to put my son down for a nap in a few minutes, and after that I'm going to start working on Celtic Autumn. I may work a little bit on Blitzen too, but I've decided that my priority is going to be Celtic Autumn because I want to knock a good chunk of her out. So I'll check in a bit later. Oh, do you want to meet Oliver? Hey Oliver, you want to come say hi? Come to say hi. Hi. This is Oliver, my very active 2-year-old. Check in later. Bye. Hey guys, it is about 11:30 p.m. and I am just ready to crash. But I wanted to share how far I got with Celtic Autumn. I am going to put her away now. So today what I did is I stitched some more of this dark rust color. There's actually 2 colors in there, but they're very similar to one another, so it's a little difficult to tell with the naked eye. And then I put in the B5200 band over here, and I did this border business over here. So this is nice because this is like the edge of the design, so that's sort of like a mental victory there to get over to the edge. And all in all, I had to pull like 3 new colors to do the border, I think. So I'll just throw all the floss on here. And that is it, I guess. So that must be like around 20 different skeins, maybe 20 different DMC colors. And I am happy with my progress. I got a bit more than I expected to, really, and I'm loving working on this. It'll be tough to put her away, but I am looking forward to starting Dancer tomorrow. That's Dancer by Nora Corbett, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night. Hey FlossTube, it's Stephanie, and it is Friday, May 6th, around 11:58 a.m. Sorry, exactly 11:58 a.m. I have just run an errand to the post office where I mailed one of my FSG prizes, and now I am at the parking lot of a local Mexican restaurant known as District Taco. I'm going to take my son out for lunch. I try to do that like once a week with him, just for fun. And this will be like, I didn't get to celebrate Cinco de Mayo yesterday. I like to celebrate that holiday with a Mexican meal, but it didn't happen yesterday. Yesterday was rough for me. There were just some issues, personal issues that, whatever. But I was down and I didn't even feel like stitching, sadly, until like evening. But the good news is, in the evening I did get a start on Dancer, which was my next my second new start for Maynia, and I made amazing progress on him. I'm stitching him on, well, I'll give you the details later, but the reason why I made amazing progress was that I stayed up way too late and I was watching Death Comes to Pemberley on Netflix. This was recommended by Little Yellow Needle House Crafts, and it did not disappoint. I loved it, and as a bonus, as my husband pointed out when we were watching the opening scenes, it was filmed at Chatsworth, i.e. Chatsworth was Pemberley. Chatsworth is one of the treasure houses in England, and we've been there. It's a beautiful place. It was so crowded the day we visited, and of course in the TV movie it was reserved for the filming, so it was pretty much empty except for the cast, and it was cool to see it that way, you know, like you could just appreciate the scale of the rooms more with not like 10 billion people between you and the door. So it was really cool to see Chatsworth again, and if you ever get a chance to visit there, I do highly recommend it. It's a very cool place. I mean, there's a sculpture gallery, there's an amazing library that looks like something out of Harry Potter. Like, it's really cool. So, and there's a million like cool things to see in there. So anyway, I will check in later and show you how far I got on Dancer last night, and I will continue working on Dancer. Today is my last day to work on Dancer. Tomorrow I'll be starting a new project. And then also today I'm supposed to work on my Mask of Colors Quick Stitch, which I nicknamed Confetti-tastic because the whole darn chart is confetti. And I will work on it in the spirit of Maynia, trying to work on all my whips, but I'm not really feeling it, so if I get like a 10 by 10 square done, I'll just, call it a day. So, we'll see you then. Check in later. Bye. Hey guys. This is my start on Dancer by Nora Corbett. Stitching him on 32 count opalescent Belfast in the pewter colorway by Picture This Plus. You can see a bit of those sparkles, I think. So I started on this yesterday evening around 6 o'clock and worked on it probably until 1 a.m. with breaks for dinner and stuff, of course. But I did get quite a bit done. You can see his legs and his little body outlined, and the beginning of his head. This little part is his chin. Right there is the chin. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the reds. He has a ton of like ribbons and stuff draped around him, so you can see some of the pink and the dark red in there, but there's two more colors of red or pink that need to go in, and more of the colors that you see there, of course. So I will get stitching and I'll check in later. See you then. Hey guys, I'm checking in. It is late Friday night, and this is the end of my second day on Blitzen, which is my final day. I will be starting a new project tomorrow, also working on a whip. I didn't work on Mask of Colors today like I was supposed to, so that'll be shuffled till tomorrow, or maybe pushed off to another day. I will eventually get to it though. Maynia is still young. We're on what, day 6 so far, so I've got time yet before day 15 rolls around. So let's see, back to Blitzen. What I did is the reindeer's body, obviously, and I love that sassy pose. I think it's so cute, and the reindeer was 4 different colors of brown and tan, and then I stitched the ribbon business, which was 4 different colors of red and pink. That is almost complete, except for like right there. Needs a little bit more of the lighter red one. So, and then I started doing the trees, which is in DMC 904. Didn't quite finish. There's like 2 more like trees over here. 1 full tree and then a partial tree, and then of course this tree. So I did work across the width of the project, so this represents, like, this was all the way on the border here, and then this is like a few stitches away from the border over here. So next time what I'll do is, well, I need to do the reindeer's head, of course, and his antlers, and then I'm going to do the, I'll finish up the tree line, so I'll have to go back and fill it in with the water lily umbriel, I think, or umbria or something like that. It's the purple to green one. And then there's also a krennic in there. And then below that there's some snowy like ground type stuff done in krennic. And then there's a border, which is there's like two borders on this one adjacent to one another, and they're both krennic, and then there is a little bit of beading as well throughout the border, so that should be fun. Really happy with my progress on this, and I'll bring him out again probably in July. I do want to finish him this year. Shouldn't take that much. This was just 2 days, and probably another 2 days would be enough to get him ready for beading. So I will see you tomorrow. Good night. Happy stitching. Bye. Hey guys, it's Stephanie, Miss Oh So Crafty, checking in. It is Saturday, May 7th, day 7th of Stitch Mania. The weekend's here. How is everyone doing? I hope you're getting a chance to rest or have fun or stitch or whatever you want to do. Me, I have driven up into Rockville, Maryland to the Washington Artworks facility. I am planning to take a class on stained glass, or workshop rather, on stained glass making in about 15 minutes here. There's a practical reason for this. I have two side lights by the front door of my house that I wish to replace with some new glass, and if I could do the work myself, obviously it would be much cheaper, so we'll see how this class works out and how feasible it would be to do the work myself. Wish me luck. Other than that, I went to the frame store this morning. I found this great local frame store. It's in kind of an industrial area, and the outside is not much to look at, but the inside is stuffed full of all sorts of stuff. The prices are extremely fair, and perhaps most importantly, they don't give me any attitude for being a DIYer. They're really nice and, just helpful. And they don't jack up the prices or try to, rip me off or whatever, unlike so many other stores I could mention, framing stores. So it's cool. I got a frame and glass off the clearance shelf for the graduation piece, so I'm going to do that right away. And then the other stuff I ordered. I got so much stuff. I got the frame and glass that I mentioned for the graduation piece, and then I got frame and glass for my two nautical pieces, the Waiting for the Voyage at Sea and the Beacon at Daylight, the lighthouse. And then I got a frame and glass for the Mediterranean Mermaid, and then I got glass for two large pieces, one a Joan Elliott, the other a Mira that I already have frames for but didn't have glass for. And then I got a mat as well for one of my Halloween pieces. So I'm really excited to pick that stuff up, and they have to order some of the stuff, so it might be a little while, but I'm not in any hurry. And tonight I'm planning to, when I get home, which may not be for a while because this class is 3 hours and then I have to go visit somebody, but I'm going to start the Stoney Creek Summer Bellpull and maybe also work on my Teresa Wentzler whip, the castle. If I don't get to the whip, I'll shuffle it off till tomorrow. Tomorrow there's not much going on, and my husband for Mother's Day is going to give me stitchy time, so I will check in later. Bye. Hey FlossTube, here is my start on Summer by Stoney Creek, the Summer Bellpull. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to frog everything I did tonight. I started out using the center, following the directions from the package of AND cloth, which was to count 45 threads across and 45 threads down. And then I went from there. And I merely stitched this bottom part of the S and then this greenery here, and then I started to do the second color of green, and I thought, I'm so close to the edge here. That doesn't seem right. And I counted out, I should have 10 stitches to go outside of the lighter green, and I don't. I only have 8. But I'm going to frog it now because I can't just go to bed with knowing that it's wrong. So I'll see you tomorrow. Night. Hey guys, it's Stephanie, Miss Oh So Crafty. It is Sunday, May 8th, around 7:15 p.m. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms and grandmoms, great-grandmoms, stepmoms, foster moms, or any mom who loves a child. So, it's been a great day for me. I slept in and took my son to the playground and got some stitchy time and went out for dinner with my family. We went to this great place called Pizzeria Orso. It's a Neapolitan certified pizza place, and they do more than just pizza. We had a great meal with, well, pizza of course, and also mussels and ravioli and baby kale salad, and then my son got spaghetti and meatballs, and I had a nice cocktail, a peach bellini. My husband had a glass of wine. Oliver had a glass of milk. It was a great meal, and now I'm home. I am planning to do some more work on my summer Bellpull, which is what I worked on earlier. So last night I stayed up way too late frogging the summer Bellpull after I misplaced it, and I blame some of that on the fabric. It's supposed to be 90 stitches, 90 threads or 90 stitches across and the same tall, but mine is only 88 across. It is 90 tall though. So, but some of it was just my own counting errors. I think the counting pin I was using, I referenced the wrong hole or something. I don't know. In any case, I started from the edge this time, and I'm going to keep working on that right now. And I may also pull out the Castle whip and or Mask of Colors. I'm behind on 2 whips now. I need to catch up on those. But I'm not going to like force myself to do it, you know. I'll get to them sometime before Stitch Mania ends. So I will check in later and see how far I get on the summer Bellpull. See you then. Hey FlossTube, it is just about midnight, and here's my progress on day 2 of the summer Bellpull by Stoney Creek. So I started down here in this corner and very carefully counted 82 across, did the border, and then I did this dark green. And as soon as I worked across to there, I started the S and the teal. And I put in some other greens. It's kind of hard to tell, but there's about like 4 or 5 different colors of green in here so far. So this is, I actually like stitching on this fabric. It's 18 count, and it's, the stitches, it's a lot more open than say like Ada cloth. And it is very sheer, so you have to be very careful not to like, I'm carrying the thread but only where it will be covered with other threads. Like you can't really carry it under any place exposed because this stuff is so sheer. Like you can see my hand through there. But I like it, and you have to be careful that the stitches don't roll because it is so open, but it's easier to like do this, you know, to stitch 18 count on this kind of fabric versus like Ada. It's just much more dense, you know. So I do like it, and now that I've got the counting, you know, worked out, I can just very carefully trace the thread down, and I won't have to worry about it so much with the subsequent blocks. But as far as this project goes, it is not the quick stitch that I was hoping for. I don't know, it's hard to say, to judge, because, you know, when I started yesterday, I completely lost all that work. I had to frog it all and start over, so this is really only 1 day's worth of work, so maybe it's not that bad. I don't know, but I'm not sure I'll be able to finish this within the summertime as I was hoping. We'll see. So I will work on this a little bit tomorrow. I think I'm going to put in the cattails. So there's like cattails that are up here and over here, like a dark brown. And I'll try to finish the letter S, and I'll try to finish the border. There's also an inner border, which I may work on as well, I don't know, in the same thread, this tan thread. But I am going to try to get working on my whips as well, Mask of Colors and the Castle. Maybe I'll do those first, and then I'll get back to this and see how far I get. So, it is bedtime for me, and good night to all, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!